first hole. Well, this floor isn't bad, but the floor in the rest of do that, but I mean, it's not like we can walk around in there. All right, there's the master bedroom. Isn't that what that is, or is that part of the hallway still? No. Smell? Babe, it's in there. What? I said I think it's in there.
Hey, welcome back to the Homestead, everybody. Today we're going to start a series of how we left our 2,300 square foot house on 6 acres and moved to a 32 acre size property with nothing on it but a crack house. I mean, a house that has been vacant for a long time.
Crap. It means crap house.
Crack house.
Okay, so first, to start the story off with, we were planning on moving to Idaho. Yeah, why do I say Colorado? Because our daughter's talking about going to college in Colorado, so it's stuck in my head.
Curse you, Good Simple Living.
Yes, yes. So the channel Good Simple Living, awesome channel. They kept showing us all the beautiful scenery of Idaho, and it was gorgeous. And we were like, we want to go there. We can do that. And so that's where we were looking. We still, we planned on selling our house, and we were looking at Idaho. Neil would kind of look around Missouri area because there was a lot of land that was popping up for super cheap in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. I'm like, nope, that's not what we want. If we're gonna move to the middle of nowhere, it needs to be in Idaho because that's where we want to go. So that's where we were looking, and then.
So my boss starts I think he was texting me, saying, "Hey, where do you live? I'm looking at property up near you. I think we're going to be neighbors." I'm like, "Really? Okay, that's all right. You're JP's all right. He's all right guy." I guess I can live a couple miles away from him. They have a little bit of distance, but he's like, "You ought to come look at this property that's right next door to me. It's pretty big, and you might be interested in it." So we went and we called the realtor and had a look at it, and it was just gorgeous. I mean, even in the dead of winter, mm-hmm. with no leaves on the trees or anything,
it was just January when we looked at it.
It has some buildings on it that we'll talk about later. It has a small pond in it. It's really nice. I mean, it was all grown up and stuff. We've done a lot to it, but we'll get all that also. But
it met the stipulations that we've actually been looking for mm-hmm. for probably 10, 11 years even. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've lived in this area for 12 years. But even after we lived here, Neil was always like, oh, it'd be really great to have some abandoned chicken houses, could do some great things with them. A creek would be great.
Yeah, like a water source, things that are important if things go south.
Yeah. And then we kind of went back and forth about the creek because we do have small children and, accidents can happen and stuff. So we kind of went back mm-hmm. and forth. But it would be something nice. Now this property does not have a creek. It looks like it has the potential for a creek. But,
I think it's like a wet weather.
Yeah, but it does have a pond, so, that'll work too. But it has the abandoned chicken houses, and it kind of gives you the in the middle of nowhere vibe, which mm-hmm. was another stipulation of his. But basically the only stipulation of mine was I still need to be semi-close to things. We drive to Bentonville for everything almost. So, and that's a half-hour drive. I wanted to be within a half hour of everything still. Mm-hmm. And so it met both of our requirements almost 100%. Like I said, there's mm-hmm. no creek. It would be nice to have a freshwater spring or something, but that's okay. We'll make do.
Yeah. So the part that you had just watched prior to this, I was tearing down like a little window that they had between the mobile home and the little add-on they did to it. I guess they just put a shelf there. It probably used to be a window or something like that. So let's give you the grand tour.
Yes. Now,
of the crack house.
Also something at crap house. Stop saying crack house.
Crap
house. Because literally, there's crap in there.
Raccoon or something.
Something.
Groundhog.
Now, we bought this property, and Neil and I came and looked at it, fell in love with it. Beautiful. But we saw the old building, and we're like, we need to tear something down. So we brought the kids out thinking that they would be super excited to have this wilderness and then to tear stuff up. But they weren't so much.
And it was kind of a downer. So.
It was a huge downer. You know, Neil and I are like, yay! I'm shouting, it's ours, it's ours. And the kids are like, so we'll see.
Watch out for critters. Floor seems super spongy. Got for any raccoons or something pop out on us. Oh, it's a bathroom. God only knows what's down there. Looks like somebody actually tried to rip this down to replace the roof. All the studs up there look perfectly fine. This room stinks. Oh, that's because there's fresh poop there. Fireplace is really cool, but it has water that runs down the ceiling or the roof. These beams are not so great because they didn't fix the roof properly. Big hole in the floor. Big stove. I'm sure the rats have gotten into the insulation and it's ruined. Well, you can't really see on the camera probably, but you can see the cross members underneath the floor where the boards underneath it are bowed. It's probably particle board. Used to be a window. It used to be a mobile home, and then they added on to it. More holes in the floor. There's the back porch. Maybe before I clean this out, it looks like. Bunch of junk. They had a wood burning stove here. It looks like it leaks as well. It needs to be broken down. So the initial thought would be that if the studs in this house were good, we might actually be able to fix this house up and live in it as a temporary solution while we worked on building the funds and doing everything else that needed to be done to build a house up behind the hill for our forever home. As you can tell here that we're all wearing masks. It's because the mold in this house is just horrendous. From underneath the crawl space to up in the attic or the roof where the water runs down and the mold forms, the mold is pretty bad.
Oh, good job. Me too? No, get that one and do that. Okay. Yay! Oh, gosh.
Yep. Stop, Al, stop. Come here, baby girl.
Yeah, rats falling on me or something.
Mom thinks there's a bee's nest. We saw a big old freaking bee.
I wouldn't doubt it. So we're not sure if all these leaves are actually just blown up there or if something was making a nest up there. We did actually find a snake skin, so there was stuff living up
Don't
there.
back down the steps, baby.
How a snake gets up in the roof, I'm not sure how that works.
Mommy's in the house. She'll come out.
Is that snake skin on the floor by the refrigerator?
I don't know, I didn't look.
Neither did I.
I was too busy looking at the big fat turds in there.
Oh. What are you doing? Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing? You gonna answer me? Oh, Missy, Missy up there. Oh, is Missy gonna get you?